our mind is the element that enables us to be aware of the world and to our experiences, to think and to feel. It is the faculty of consciousness and thought, but how can we take care of it? Here are the group 3 to discuss about mental hygiene.
What is mental hygiene? In 1893, Isaac Ray, a founder of the American Psychiatric Association, provided a definition of the term mental hygiene as the art of preserving the mind against all incidents and influences calculated to deteriorate its qualities, impair its energies, or direct its movements. Personally, when I hear the term mental hygiene, it means you're in a state of well-being where you feel good and function well in the world. If you ask me, what comes up to your mind when it comes to mental hygiene practices? Would you kindly give some examples, Freya?
Alright, thank you so much, Kalel. So the main goal of mental hygiene is to improve the quality of life by preventing negative behaviors and providing emotional stability. It gives us balance, good health, and well-being in our day-to-day lives. Some mental hygiene practices are like dedicating a few minutes of our morning routine, such as mindful deep breathing, journaling, guided meditation, gratitude exercises, stretching or walking, and spending time in nature. Just about any activity can qualify as long as you are paying attention to what you are doing while you perform the task. Mental hygiene includes all measures taken to promote and to preserve mental health. But what is mental health?
Mental health is also so much more than the absence of mental illness. It's about living a fulfilling life and achieving your full potential. Is about living a sustaining soul and emotional life, and sense of purpose, and living in harmony with yourself. Allow us to make a difference by work. We're doing build strong and meaningful connections, reflect, overcome the expressions of and prosper as individual and as a unity. In effect, how we think, feel, as we cope with life. It also helps defend how we healthy stress, relate to another, make healthy choice. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood again.
Mental disorders are serious conditions which can affect your thinking, mood, and behavior. They may be occasional or long-lasting. They can affect your ability to relate to others and function each day. Mental disorders are common. Mental health and substance use disorders affect 13% of the world's population. There are nearly 300 mental disorders listed in the DSM-5, or Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. This is a handbook used by health professionals to help identify and diagnose mental illness. Some of the main groups of mental disorders are mood disorders, such as depression or bipolar disorder. But there are treatments. People with mental disorders can get better, and many of them recover completely. Anger is an emotion characterized by antagonism toward someone or something you feel has deliberately done you wrong. Anxiety is an emotion characterized by feelings of tension, worried thoughts, and physical changes like increased blood pressure. Panic disorder or panic attacks. Panic disorder is an anxiety disorder where you regularly have a sudden attacks of panic or fear. Depression. Depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and lost interest. Depression affects how you feel, think, and behave, and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. Obsessive-compulsive disorder Obsessive-compulsive disorder is a common, chronic, and long-lasting disorder in which a person has uncontrollable recurring thoughts that he or she feels the urge to repeat over and over. People with OCD have symptoms of obsession, compulsions, or both. Personality disorder. A personality disorder is a type of a mental disorder in which you have a rigid and unhealthy pattern of thinking, functioning, and behaving. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event, either experiencing it or witnessing it. Psychosis. Psychosis is when people lose some contact with reality. Phobia. A phobia is an irrational fear of something that's unlikely to cause harm.
Mental hygiene begins with the individual, and we all need to look after our emotions. For this, mental health experts agree on the need to adopt a series of habits for emotional self-care. Here are some mental hygiene habits and practices.
Cover your basic needs. The first thing we need to do to feel okay is to satisfy our basic needs, such as eating and sleeping properly. These are key to psychological well-being, and we should not let them slip. Look after your self-esteem and learn to be trusting. To enjoy good mental hygiene, it's important that we accept ourselves as we are, as well as having faith in ourselves. It's also important to trust others. Manage your emotions and learn self-control. This isn't about blocking out our feelings or letting them take us over, but rather about knowing how to identify and interpret them and regulate their intensity in order to respond appropriately. That is why it's key to emotional intelligence. Manage expectations and set concrete objectives. Maintaining motivation and being perseverant is fundamental to surpass ourselves, which is why we need to set achievable goals so we do not become disheartened. We don't have to abandon our dreams, but we do need to manage expectations and reality. Think positively and be on the lookout for negative emotions. Sometimes, we're bound to be plagued by doubt and fears, but we can always counter them and limit their extent through positive thinking. Learn to relax and handle adversity. Stress is very useful natural bodily reaction to cope with adverse situations, but it can be very harmful to health when things settle down and we must learn to switch off. For instance, through techniques as mindfulness. Feed your social life and find support in others. As human beings, we are sociable by nature and we need to interact with others to have fun and share our concerns. Exercise regularly. Regular exercise helps, not just to keep us physically fit and improve our health, but also to clear our heads. Resting for a while after sport is also important.
When we practice mental hygiene, we are mentally healthy. We enjoy our life and the environment and the people in it. We can be creative, learn, try new things, and take risks. We are better able to cope with difficult times in our personal lives.